Yo, we are back with the Okie Dokie Literature Club. Last time we just wrote our first poem. Let's see how this turns out. I already know. I've already had to skip this part. Hi again. Wait. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year, and last year too. I don't know if you just plan to come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps their manga collection in the club room. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga's literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. He always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work even without me asking, like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sorry, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting, and you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and him can become good friends too. Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, you even brought you something today, you know. Wait, Sayori. Eh? Me? No, not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. Ooh, what do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so a nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want me to. Big deal out of it if you don't want me to. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches to her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you, I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in the book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Ugh. I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Freaking Monica. She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point in keeping your collection organized if someone else is just gonna mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga. You read manga, right? Ah, sometimes. Manga's one of the things where you can't admit it, you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. How did you know anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out the stack. There it is. Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. Then she turns into a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest. Ah, much better. Seeing a box set with one missing book is probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know the feel. I get a closer look at the box she's admiring. Parfait girls? It's a series I never heard of in my life. That probably means it's either way out of my demographic or it's simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you can do it through the glass on the door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing. Consider this a lesson straight from the literature club. Don't judge a book by its cover. In fact, Natsuki pulls the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm going to show you exactly why. She shoves the book right into my hand. Ah, I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly moe. Don't just stand there. Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. Then she takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. Why is that? I guess it's easier to be close together like this. Don't say that. You'll make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's a particularly bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I won't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can talk at the same time. Looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. So, what should I expect from this? Is there going to be plot? Well, obviously, you think I would enjoy something that didn't have plot? I mean, well, I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of the beginning is about simple things. Like, there's a really funny chapter where they're obsessed with the guy at the ice cream shop, but that just helps you get to know the characters. And besides, it's still entertaining. But later on, there's those kinds of drama, like when they get into their backstories and when some of the romance starts to happen. That's really what makes it so good. There are so many touching parts. Ah, is that so? Sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you. Hey, wait. What's that supposed to mean? Natsuki gives me a little shove. I just haven't seen you at your full power. Good save. This chapter seems like it's about baking. This is just a guess, but is there a lot of baking in this manga? Well, Natsuki pauses for a moment as if she doesn't want to admit something. Yeah. Why does that matter? It doesn't, I was just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right? That's just a coincidence. I just happened to get in baking around the same time I got this manga. Like I would ever get into something because it's in a manga. I feel bad for anyone that's that impressionable. Definitely not a coincidence. I guess that explains Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, of all hobbies to pick up from a manga, that's definitely one of the better ones. Not to mention, she's really good at it, so who am I to judge? Epic CG. Wait. I feel like I'm gonna mess something up. Don't skip, don't skip, don't skip, don't skip. There's a button. Oh, what the fuck? Oh. Well, whoopsie. I found the button though. There, you can see the whole thing. Oh, this might be thumbnail material. Hey. Ah, shit. There we go. Perfect. ... We read on for a few more minutes. I finished a couple chapters at this point. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not. Even though you're just watching me read. Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? Hmm? You don't? That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Sorry. Like I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga's for kids. I can't even bring it up without them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face. Ugh, I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated towards the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica was kind of a jerk about it. I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am, reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe, but at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So? Jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flipped the page. Suddenly, Natsuki starts laughing. I totally forgot that happens. Natsuki puts her fingers on one of the panel. Fingers? Finger. Minori's my favorite character. You always feel a little bad for her since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when, I shouldn't be talking about that yet. Just finish the chapter. Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement. It's a stark contrast to her usual bossy tone. But she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with her friends. I can understand why. It's hard to express in words the feeling you get when connecting with someone like that. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom it's a rare experience, the thought makes me smile a little to myself. Okay, everyone. Are you all ready with today's poems? Oh, come on. Could your timing be any worse? Sorry. I just need to make sure we have enough time. Though you do look pretty cozy over there. Natsuki suddenly notices how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. Alright, I guess I'll stop here for now. I close the book and hand it towards Natsuki. You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens? Yeah, but Mom could have said, don't be dumb. Just take it home with you. Is that really alright? I say that mostly because I don't plan on using my spare time to read this. It's like my stack of manga right here in front of me that I haven't read. Well, of course, it would take forever to finish if you didn't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you. By tomorrow? I only got partway through the volume so far. Okay. If you can't finish a single book in like an hour, like, dude, there's like 5 words per page. You won't have a problem finishing it. I might fall behind on some shows if I try to do this. But I suppose that's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. Or am I more scared of what happens if I don't finish it? Alright then. Stand up. I return to where I put my stuff and I carefully slip the book into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in the composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Should I save the best for last? Monica. I start with Monica. Yesterday, she seemed eager to read my poem, and I want her to know I'm putting in effort. Hi, having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we could do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, Want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry. We're all a little embarrassed to say, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I and Monica my poem. Mm-hmm. I like it. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh, jeez. No. It kind of makes me think something Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. By any chance, have you read anything by Shel Silverstein? Maybe a long time ago. He's famous for telling all kinds of stories in just a few simple words. His poems can be funny, endearing, or even sad. And sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply for anybody. I see. So you're saying that Natsuki's kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most, so don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's cause I have some confidence. What? That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out of the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. Deep. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style's gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say... Oh, wait. Oh no. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. I don't think anyone watching would understand what this means, but I think I do, and it doesn't mean anything good. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about the deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone's better friends with each other. No. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. See, that advice is amazing. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. Oh. That just never mind. You just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh. Sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that might be after reading through it. So it's that bad? No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I can't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we haven't really gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine. I didn't really know. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing that I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the clubs gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. Not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if it's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining street light to withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe? Calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Cursive is kind of hard to read sometimes. I'm sorry to have such terrible handwriting. This is my reaction. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. Yeah, most people don't write in cursive. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I liked your poem. Also, I liked the poem. Even though short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Yeah, her other poems are get all. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Uh-huh. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. It makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Sayori. ... This is a good poem. Aren't you sure it's your first time? Of course, it's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing the poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. I don't think that's right grammar, but okay. It reminds me of how you're really part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people. That's something only really good people do. Thanks, Sayuri. I'm not sure if Sayuri sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away in a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Rhyming. Sayuri. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. I just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least it makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast, even though you're late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for joining me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah, she definitely is. Mm-hmm. You won't be thinking that for too long. But next time, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. I don't remember. I don't exactly remember the path this game takes, or how quick things escalate. All I know is that there's not that much time left till stuff. Okay, well, let's start with things I don't like. First of all, Natsuki rereads my poem. Never mind, I don't feel like giving my opinion. And there was the point of sharing in the first place. I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, I remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours, like Monica said. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha, well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. Oh, okay. So in other words, you're saying you liked it? Natsuki's retort gets caught in the throat. You just don't understand anything, do you? I already told you, you don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must really hate me or something. No. I can't figure it out if it's a win or loss that you like my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Yeah. Ugh, fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah. I told you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people who don't even take my writing seriously. But it isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves. Isn't the point of writing poems for people to express themselves. Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can really be disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, then I make it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I just had to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki's feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Whew, yeah, that's my reaction right now. That's a lot of reading. I'm playing a visual novel. Ooh, guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone's judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. Sigh. I guess that's why I ended up getting myself into a... Yeah. Across the room, Sayuri and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper. Sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. Guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it didn't really come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for just suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it. And he did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And he liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you're so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that he appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one who's magically grew size bigger as he started showing up. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like you fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. She's trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out to the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right? Well, how did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I knew anything about writing. But whomever I agree with, they probably think more highly of me. Help me, Sayori. Well, they're both right. Even though I wanna choose Natsuki over Yuri, they're still both right, and I feel bad. Natsuki glares at me, drawing up any words I had in my mouth. So instead, I turn to Yuri. Yuri, But Yuri's expression is so defenseless I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayuri, yeah. Everyone's fighting is making Sayuri uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Oh, well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. I guess that's fair. Yeah, unless Sayuri wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Excuse me, princess. Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why. Exactly why nobody likes... Stop. Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented, so why are we fighting? Because, well, also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's, they're the same as they always were. Big and beautiful. Sorry. Sorry stands triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why Sayuri is vice president. I whispered on Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader, and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. Yeah, you're not really. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Nah, it's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayuri is amazing in her own way, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. No, don't see. I'm just gonna take your eyes. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. Yeah, that makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Yeah, such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. No, you don't want that. God, there's so many innuendos. Oh my god, it's insane. Okay, everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How do you all feel about sharing poems? It was lots of fun. Well, I'd say I was worth it. It was worth it. It was alright, well, mostly. How about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you'll learn something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those who I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Hey, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayuri beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayuri and I have spent this much time together. Can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayuri, about what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've ever seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just want your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. You know, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. Well, that is true. Every day is gonna be so much fun. Sigh. Sigh. It looks like Sayuri still hasn't caught into the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayuri. I pat Sayuri on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayuri as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Oh my god, I'm hungry. Okay, I'll do this next episode. Whatever. Override save. Well, I feel like that might have been a bit longer, or maybe I just felt so long reading that much. But if you liked the video, drop a like down below, subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.